You know, I was just thinking. In this world, it doesn't appear that for the so called black man, the situation is getting any better. As we climb up the ladder, the rug is slowly being pulled out from underneath that ladder. Just a little bit at a time. You know, I think about myself when I go to work or returning to home that there is a possibility that I may be accosted by law enforcement. And there's a possibility that I myself will never return home. These are just some of the things that goes through my mind. Or whether or not I get involved with a female that I had no business dealing with. That I can, let's say, I get involved with this person. Relationship develops after the so called courting period. She begins to demand control. Whether I have a kid by her or not, she has the ability to call the law enforcement to help her get me back or put me back in order. And I have no other recourse to defend myself. The justice system is set up in such a way, if I break a law that may send me to the pen for 10 years, I will actually get 20 years. Just think about that for a minute. That just twists my noodle all in a knot. Although I've been aware of this situation from a very young age. I was advised how to approach, how to de escalate, how not to be emotional. And just in order to survive an encounter with law enforcement. That's just law enforcement. Then I got to deal with any relationships that I may get involved in. I myself had chosen to be celibate for many years, long before the so called red pill or MGTOW, because of the injustice system. It is heavily leans towards or against the so called black alpha male. You must be aware of your situation and your location and the people around you at all times. That includes law enforcement, relationships, or an encounter, a negative encounter that you may have with a female just being on the street downtown, accidentally bumping into her. That can put you in a bad situation with the wrong type of female. The wrong type of female to me is the beast of the field. Not good. Not good at all. A positive interaction with a female, for me, let me see, would be a woman. What I call a woman. Dressed in a very modest fashion. Has a polite manner, non-aggressive, and totally and completely feminine. Will not, does not wear pants or a shirt. She chooses to wear a dress. The most feminine thing about a woman is her form in a dress. My personal opinion, just saying. But when you have a large percentage of so-called black alpha males in prison that are, well, by percentages, that out performs all other races that are incarcerated by a huge margin, well over 60%. The incarceration rates are much higher than that. I'm just being modest in what I'm saying. How do we as a people, or as the so-called black alpha male, free ourselves from this? We cannot, and it will not happen until that allotted time has ended. In a scriptural sense, it will not end. There are people that are in the continent of Africa that are in cattle slavery. I saw a few pics on the Google Plus and a couple of videos on the tube showing these people, well, these young alpha males hanging, not dead, hanging by their feet bunched together. All their ankles are tied together. All three of their ankles are tied together as one. It appears as though one of those young men had passed out or died due to the fact of the blood rushing to their heads. There was another pic. It's as if these people were hoarded into a room, just jam-packed. Imagine the feces, the urine, excrement, or whatever you like to call it. This is cattle slavery. This is a reminder to all of us here around the world, that this still does exist in various different forms throughout this world. Just tripping.